first portion of statement was 74 to the jury.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. It's hard for me here.
I can appreciate that. So, now, like I told you, when we were out there, said you were not under arrest. You weren't handcuffed coming in, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that door doesn't lock. This is a voluntary interview. Okay. Obviously, we need to do the best we can to get the full story. You can find your wife and you can get back to normal. Obviously, part of that involves talking with you. So, again, this is a voluntary thing. Like I told you out there, I haven't lied to you. I'm not going to start now.
We could have done this at my house.
No, this part we can't do it.
Because it's not voluntary.
No, it's completely voluntary.
And I could leave if I want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm just.
Yeah. You try that door right now.
At some point, could we, I want to help you. I want to get this going because I didn't do it, and I want you to find whatever the hell happened to her.
Me too.
I want it to happen. But just.
Detective, as you began that discussion with Mr. Moore, did anything stand out to you about your initial interaction with him?
Yes, he stated he didn't do it.
Did you accuse him of doing anything in particular at that time?
No, sir. All I was doing was going over the fact that it was a voluntary interview, and he made that statement.
No, but it's a little hard for me if we get some time to.
I respect that.
Point,
We take
on
it.
the hallway or something.
I get it. So
go do your thing.
And
I'm an open book, man.
I don't mean to insult you.
No.
But you can read English, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask that because I've had people before that
I can read.
when I go over rights waivers, later on they magically can't read English.
I can
also.
read.
So again, I don't mean to insult you. So it says before we ask any questions, you must understand your rights. You understand that part?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent. Is it locked? That's weird.
These are my Miranda warnings.
Yeah.
So I'm being arrested.
You're not being arrested.
So why am I being read my Miranda warning?
Because it's the standard protocol that I do, just to make sure that we are on the same page with everything. I told you honesty. I'll be fully aware of everything. I told you not being arrested. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You understand that part? You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions, and to have a lawyer with you during questioning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering at any time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer.
It seems fair.
Understand that part?
It seems like a right that's in the Constitution or something, so I'm totally on board with it.
Good. And I, Mathew,
Matheau
E-A-U.
Moore, M-O-R-E.
I've read the statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are. No promises or threats have been made to me. Is that fair and accurate? I'll give you that pen so we can both write at the same time.
Today is
The 27th.
5/27/20. Time is
The time is 4:51. Put my info down.
Detective, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as Exhibit 75. We'll put that over Generally speaking, can you tell the jury what that is?
That is a copy of the Miranda rights waiver that I just went over with Mr. Moore with his signature on it.
Is it a true and accurate copy of the document that Mr. Moore signed for your interview on May 27th?
Yes, it is.
That's published to the jury?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Detective, I'm not showing you with Exhibit 75. Did you read that language at the top of the form directly to Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir.
And whose signature appears under the waiver of rights next to the word signed?
That's Mathew Moore's signature.
Now, for the record, resuming Exhibit 74.
So, now when you called to report Emily on Monday evening, Officer Hollis is the one that came out, correct?
Like I heavy said, dude.
Yes. Very friendly guy?
Very nice.
Okay. Did he treat you well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did he have you provide any sort of, I can't even talk. It's been that kind of day,
Trust me,
right?
I'm gonna have a hard time talking.
Well, if you get tongue-tied, I'll totally get it. Did he have you fill out any sort of written statement as to what had happened?
No.
Okay. What I would like from you, and I've got paper here for you, and I will leave and give you a piece. If you want me to stay in here, I can stay in here. It's up to you.
Staying here with me.
Okay? And I'll be completely quiet, but I just need a statement from you. You have to, starting from, when you went to bed on Sunday evening until you called the police on Monday at whatever time it was.
Okay.
And I understand that you've talked about it and everything else like that. However, it's just a procedural thing that needs to happen. And honestly, I told you, I like honesty. I'm not happy that Officer Hollis didn't get that on Monday.
It's probably fresher in my mind then.
I get it.
I've gone through this in my head with the timeline, and some of my times don't line up. I made a phone call when I thought I was sleeping.
Okay.
So, I try my best, but I don't want to make
But
anything false.
you're human, right?
Yeah, I'm human.
And all I want is your best.
It might be, specific times I couldn't really be like, this is when I did this, this is when I did that. I could if I had my phone sort of.
Just the best that you can.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just know that the times are going to might be wrong, and I would hate to give you a wrong time, and then be like, suspect me of something.
I just don't want to blatant lie like the sky's purple.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
If
you say this happened at 4:51, and I'm like, oh no, that's bullshit. It was 4:55.
No,
You lied.
it could be an hour off. It could
Okay.
be. It was night. It was just like any other night. It wasn't.
Correct.
So I'm not like checking my time.
Right, and you're human.
It was a normal night. We drank. We came home. We hung out. I left because I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee. I don't go back into the bedroom because I don't want to wake her up. I sleep in my son's room, who doesn't live there anymore, on the couch, and I slept. I made texts, and I talked to people during that period.
Okay.
And it's on the phone.
Just the best in your own words.
But I can't tell you, hey, I made texts at 5, at 3, you know what I mean?
Right.
I can't. I won't write down times, but I'll just kind of give you a brief, like a story without times, because I think.
But just any instance that you can recall.
Yeah.
Like I'm not so time focused right now. It's just the fact that I want to be able to make sure I have everything sequentially.
I feel comfortable.
From how I understand it, I want to make sure that I can pick up and go, oh yeah, that's right. When he woke up, he then moved the refrigerator on the roof. Whatever it may be, I want to make sure that sequentially I understand.
Could you help me write it? Because I can't spell for one. I'm pretty horrible. Or just kind of help me.
But if you need help with the word, I can help you spell it, absolutely. And I'm not here to judge
You want
spelling.
the whole day?
Just from when you went to bed you know, that Sunday night.
So you don't want to know about where we were prior to.
No, not so. Because that's always, you know, stuff that we can follow up on. You know,
Because I'm not really sure when we got home
okay.
from the house.
Okay.
Um,
So, just name, address, date of birth, and then you don't have to worry about anything on this side. Your handwriting is actually much more pleasant than some other ones that I've seen.
do you want the Westerville?
Yes, please.
What's this? Rick?
And I really want you to just take your time. You know, make sure that we're all
Yeah, I mean,
on
this
the
is.
same page.
We got home from being in Uptown. We talked. It was her birthday. We talked, we went to bed. Together? Do I say we had sex or?
Any details like that, I mean, we're all adults.
Made love, I guess. It was her birthday. Fell asleep. I fell asleep. I'm not sure if she did. She might have stayed up. I'm not sure, but I passed out. Woke up. Went up to pee, or urinate. I did look at the clock. I don't want to say that I knew what time it was, but whenever I wake up to go to the bathroom, I look at the clock to see how close it is to the morning, and that determines whether I take a sleeping pill or not.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know the name of it. I think I have one, and it was earlier, so I'm going to say, I don't want to say, I mean like 1 maybe, which is early.
Okay.
And I woke up to urinate, went to my son's room, to sleep on couch. Couch is C-O-U-C-H. Spent time looking through TROUGH phone, made a few text messages at MESSAGES. Made a few text messages I might have posted on Facebook. I don't know. I'm gonna say I did. If I didn't look. Might have posted on Facebook. texted my stepfather. I know I did. He texted back. I don't know what time it was. It was 3. I think he got back to me at 8. From what I saw today, I actually texted back to him at 8, so I might have been awake later than I thought. But at some point, late morning, late morning, late night, early morning, or
Hey, yeah.
you know,
Hey, I get.
like 8, 7, 6, I don't know, whenever that's late night, late early morning. Or it's at some point.
Was it sun up?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. At some point, I'm going to say it was starting to be dawn because there's a reason for that. Because usually I do fall back asleep before it gets light out, and then I usually wake up at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? I didn't wake up until like past 11, I think, which is really late. I could have woke up a few times in between that and to at some point fell back to sleep. Because I think I did at some point in mid-morning make a text to somebody. I'm not sure. I don't know if I should put that down.
Yeah.
I might have made a mid-morning text. I remember awaking. The text says the time was like almost 12. I could have woke up at 11, just lied in bed for a little bit. Waking towards how T-W-O-R-D?
T-O-W-A-R-D-S.
T-O-W-A-R-D-S?
Yes.
Towards noon, I text Emily to see if we were going to a Memorial Day. I spell that M-A-M.
O-R-I-A-L.
M-A-O.
M-E-M.
M-E-M.
O-R-I-A-L.
I-A-L. Day picnic. I don't know the guy's name. I got it written down on 2 minutes on my phone. I'm sure you guys already know.
I've talked about it.
Picnic. She didn't respond. I'm not 100% sure, but I checked my Find phone app, and it said that she was there.
How long after you sent the text when you, if you had a ballpark?
I don't
More than an hour?
know. No, it was probably within
Like 5-10 minutes?
I'm guessing. I'm gonna guess. I don't know, but I do know that I looked just to see if she was still in the house, because you know what I mean. It was later. I thought maybe she could have left, early, because she didn't come in and wake me up, which is why she does that. I mean, we had someplace to go. She didn't respond. At some point, I checked my Find a phone, and it was still there. I don't know how much longer I lied in bed, but I know I made another text to her at 3, around 3, and said, well, I guess we're not going. And I'd already been up in the house, so I didn't know her phone was on. I hadn't seen her phone by then, I don't think. Or I wouldn't have texted. It would have been right there. I don't know how to word that. She didn't respond. I re-texted. I got up, looked through the house. I checked for her car. Which was there. Which was there. Went back to my son's room. Lied on the couch. Flipping to the phone. I don't know if I made any text messages or not. I'll have to look. Some point in the afternoon, I noticed her phone, I noticed her wallet.
Okay. Where were those at?
Her phone was next to her bed, her wallet was, I don't remember. Her car, I've been before. All of a sudden, just at some point in the afternoon, I realized that there was something wrong. I think everything was, all her stuff was there and she was gone and she hadn't come back. I realized R-E-A-L-I-Z-E-D. I called her friend Celeste. It would be a C. Celeste, we talked. She said to call police. You guys should. Got home from being in Uptown, we talked, we went to bed together, made love, fell asleep, woke up to urinate, went to my son's room to sleep on couch. Spent time looking at his phone, made a few text messages, might have passed Facebook at some point. At some point, I fell back to sleep, I never made a mid-morning text. I remember waking towards noon, I texted Emily to see if we were going to the Memorial Day picnic. She didn't respond. I got up, looked through the house, I checked for her car, which was there. I went back to my son's room, only because I didn't think that anything was at that point wrong. She walks around, she does things, she's just not there at that point. To the house, I checked for her car, which was there. I went back to my son's room, lying on the couch, flipping through the phone. At some point in the afternoon, I realized there was something wrong. I called her friend Celeste. We talked. She said to call the police. When I saw her phone, at some point, when I saw her phone, it was probably the last thing I really was like, this is not right. Because the phone is pretty much your thing. I mean,
Can I read over it now?
yes.
Sure. You have very nice handwriting. I'll challenge you. That is
I didn't do anything in school.
No, you don't. Your handwriting's awful.
You know what stinks is when you make really bad spelling mistakes. I mean,
Effective, I'm going to approach the meeting with March 6th at 76 until they want to flip that over. Do you recognize that document, sir?
I do.
And generally speaking, can you tell the jury what it is?
It's a copy of the witness statement that Mr. Moore just completed.
And it's a true and accurate copy of the statement that Mr. Moore filled out on May 27th.
Yes, it is.
This time it has to publish to the jury.
No objection, Your Honor.
Detective, starting in the top left corner there, can you tell us whose handwriting that is and the location, date, time, and incident number?
That is my handwriting.
And then just to the right of that, can you tell us whose handwriting is in name, address, phone, date of birth, and occupation?
That is Mathew Moore's handwriting.
And what did Mr. Moore list as his occupation?
He's an unemployed casino dealer.
Underneath that, is that continue to be Mr. Moore's handwriting?
Yes, it does.
And is that the statement that he wrote out as we just watched in the video of him talking it through with you?
Yes, it is.
What is the purpose of the line that comes after the text ends?
Just to show that that was the end of his statement. Nothing else was added on later on after the fact. That was the true ending of what he had written.
And then finally, all the way down here at the bottom of 76, what are we looking at there?
That is Mathew Moore's signature.
Now resuming plaintiff stays at 74.
the handwriting.
Well,
So like, yeah.
we're not the spelling police.
Good.
I could introduce you to some of my coworkers and your head was kind of. For being in Uptown, you talked. So you don't remember what time you came back from Uptown?
We came directly from, I think our last bar was the, not the Hook Line, I think it was that other old school, Bag and
Hold
Nails.
that.
And I think I have the receipt. It was only for like 20. We got fish fry, maybe a couple drinks. I don't think we were there for that long. We could check with them. I think they probably will know us.
And then, so then from Old Bag, you went
So
straight home?
we walked across the street. We were parked across the street behind Colgate's, and we went right.
Okay. And was the sun still out when you got home?
I'm guessing that it probably was,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Were you intoxicated when you
Yeah.
drove back?
I mean, yeah.
I appreciate the honesty. We've all done it.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So
We
then,
weren't stumbling drunk, but we were.
if you had to approximate that time,
8, 9. We went to my father's. We gardened. You'd have to check with him, but I think we left there around 4 or 5. We got there at noon. We usually gardened for about 4 hours. It was hot.
okay.
He had friends over. We went home. We washed up, and we went right. We didn't even take showers. We just kind of washed up because we were pretty dirty.
Yeah.
We went to the bar. So I mean, we were there early.
Okay.
So and we wouldn't make. It's not gonna be like getting home at 12 or 1 o'clock at night. It's earlier. It's like 9, 10. That no later, and it could have been even earlier than that.
So you're thinking 8, 9-ish?
Probably 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Area.
All right. So then you get home and you hang out. Do you drink anymore at home? If you guys were.
She has beers in the fridge, and I don't reason there's beer at my house right now. That's all it was in there. I don't drink beer, so I do.
What's
I
your
wouldn't
preference?
get home at vodka,
Okay.
so I sip vodka on the rocks, and I didn't have it. Usually when I get home after drinking, that's it for me. She'll continue to drink sometimes, but
Did she keep drinking?
I don't.
But you did not?
No.
Okay. And you guys hung out and talked?
We hung out in the kitchen, and we got really along really super well. It was her birthday. We started making out, and we went into the bedroom, and we had sex.
Okay. And that's in... So there's the master bedroom, just to make sure that I'm
The
different.
master bedroom.
And then there's the what you call your man cave.
That would be my son.
That Joey's room?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure that I'm separating right. So you went into your bedroom and had sex.
I went into the master bedroom with my wife,
Yes, sir.
and that's where she likes. Sometimes she sleeps on the porch, on the ground. She likes to be outside. I don't know if she went in there at some point. As far as I know, I fell asleep. I woke up because I had to pee. She was there. I mean, I would know if she wasn't. I would just, how you know if your wife's sitting out there. I didn't have any inkling that she wasn't there. I remember looking at the clock because I like to time how much time I have left to sleep. So whether I take a pill, fall asleep or not, I don't know if I took one or not. I might have been drunk enough that I was still kind of not me one, and I went into Joey's room. But I like how it's something that happens every night. I don't think there's a night that goes by that I sleep all the way through and make sure that I always have to get up and go pee because I'm not pressed up. And I do remember it. Usually it's pretty much I fall asleep an hour. This when I was lying in bed for quite a bit, and I made a couple texts, and I have it on my phone. Actually, I looked at my phone today, and I think, I don't know how it works, but it was an 8 o'clock phone call. I could have fell asleep and woke up at 8 and then fell back asleep. The next thing you know, I slept into the day, which is very unusual, at 11, because the first thing I did was text her and be like, are we still going to that party? And that was, I think, towards 12.
Hold on. So you got up to go pee, and the routine is after you pee, then you don't climb back into bed with her.
I don't.
And the routine is that you look at the clock to see if you should take a sleeping pill or not.
How much time I have left before, if it's real late into the night, I won't take one. So, but if it's early, I do. But I don't know. It was early, but I don't know if I took one or not. So.
Do you know what type of medicine?
It's like a Ambien, but it's some other derivative of Ambien, and I take half of it.
Okay. All right.
And they definitely give it up.
But you don't remember that night you took one?
I don't. And I probably not because I was up making phone calls, or not phone calls, but texting.
Who's up at that time?
You'd have to check. I have a friend in Vegas, so he would be, and he's up at, so it's 3, it's 12 out there. I'm not sure, you'll have to check.
You don't remember who you texted?
I remember texting my stepfather, and that was the one that was at 8, and he's at 8 our time, he's East Coast, so.
8 a.m. you texted him?
After midnight, that's right.
So is it after midnight, or is it 8 a.m. that you texted?
8, no, it was that night, that early morning, 8 o'clock a.m.
Our time?
Yes, he's
Okay, but what about at 1 or 2 or whatever time it was?
I made a post at 3 in the morning, and I think it was to my brother, Paul. And,
like a Facebook post?
on iMessenger. You'll have to check. I don't want to lie. I don't want to say, you know what I mean? But I think it was something funny about the MMA fighter guy, the guy that runs the UFC, that's having some sort of stuff that's off the shore. He's doing distancing fighting.
So was this a social media post or like a text message?
It was iMessenger is a messenger that other people can't see. It's just what I sent it to.
So that you sent it iPhone to iPhone?
Yeah.
And this was at 3 in the morning?
I think it was at 3.
This was stepbrother?
Half-brother.
Half-brother.
Paul lives in Florida.
Half-brother.
And I'm fairly, I've been kind of doing my thing, trying to figure out the timelines and stuff, and I'm pretty sure, and I think there's one more in there too that I sent out that I don't know if anybody responded to, or but I definitely sent it out, I'm not sure. You have to look, a friend.
And you haven't gone back to look to see?
I did, I'm nervous right now, I'm not really sure. I don't think they responded to it, so I'm not sure. I have 5 friends that we kind of just goof around and text each other.
So did you text the one friend or the 5 friends?
I didn't text 5 friends. I remember texting I believe it was my brother about the Dana White issue, and I remember texting my stepfather about the water bottles he collects. He collects spring water. He drinks spring water, and we just started doing that. We go that day. We went down and got spring water, and I was talking about how the shelf life of water.
You texted him that night too?
That early morning.
Yeah. The 3-ish or whatever.
Monday early morning.
Yes.
No, it wasn't 3. It was so I said it was more like
anytime from midnight to 3-ish.
when we see the times. He might have responded at 8 o'clock, and I texted him at 3. I would have to see my phone to tell.
Okay.
But there was definitely correspondence going on while I'm trying to fall asleep at night.
Any social media posts?
You'd have to check. I don't think so. I don't think so. But at some point in the morning, I fell back asleep. I did get back to sleep, and I didn't wake up until late into the morning. And the first thing I did was, because I knew we had to go to this, we'd been invited to a party, was I said, hey, we still going to the party, and she didn't respond.
And where was that party?
I don't know him. She just barely knows him. It's on there. I talked to him, actually, because I gave him, they were like, who is this guy? And I found out who he was, and they called him, and I texted him, and I asked him, maybe she went over there.
You texted him from your phone?
I'm not sure. No, I think it was hers, because it was through her. It was her phone. I wouldn't have it. I don't even know this guy. And I asked him, hey, is Emily over there? Maybe she went over there without me. Maybe I slept too late. And she said, whatever. I'm not going to get him up. I'm just going to go without him. And he said that he hadn't heard from her all day.
About what time is that?
11, 12, 11, maybe close to 12.
You texted him?
I don't know. One night. Maybe a couple hours after that, hour after that. I would hate to not say. I don't know.
So then, in your words, you got up like around 11-ish?
I was closer to 12, if I remember correctly. And I got up and I walked around and she wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, she's out doing her thing. And I went back to my couch, just kind of whatever, found over from the night before. And the next thing I did was text her again at I think 3. I think it was like 3 hours later, and I'm like, I guess we're not going to the party. Where are you? I didn't ask her that, but I was like, I guess we're not going to the party. And that was the last thing I texted her. Got up again, and then I looked, there's her car, there's her purse, there's her phone. Things started, this is not right.
Where was her phone when you found it?
Ripped on her end table.
Is that normally where it is?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, sometimes. If she's lying there, that's where it is.
Does she generally sleep in the bed?
Like I said, sometimes she sleeps
Right.
on the floor. She's just been recently doing that.
Well, what I'm saying is when she sleeps in bed, is her phone on the end table next to the bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And then when she sleeps on the floor, where does she put her
yeah,
phone?
the phone's with her most of the time.
Okay.
As far as I mean,
Does she always have her phone with her?
she always has her phone with her. And the only time she doesn't, and I said this when the first guy that came over, she goes out with these forage things, and she does this route. And he was like, does she ever go out at night, by herself? And I'm like, no. She doesn't. That's something, but she does. At times, now that I think of it, especially if she's got a buzz and she's drinking, she'll get that, and she'll grab a flashlight, and she'll go on this, and she comes back with the forage, and she shows them.
Let me rewind real quick. I got a question. So between 11 and 3, what were you doing? Were you just laying there on the couch?
11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, it was lying in my son's room.
Okay.
Kind of just chilling, recovering, waiting for her.
Did you go to the bathroom at any point?
I
Did you drink?
don't. Yeah, there was periods where, I definitely got up.
Okay. You didn't notice she was gone? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. The first time when I texted her and said, are we going to this party? And she didn't get back to me, I checked the Find My phone, and the phone said that she was there. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? At some point that happened. So it just didn't, okay, she's doing her thing, she's gonna come in and get me when we're ready to go, or whatever. At some point, she didn't come in and get me. I got up, went out there, between 11 and 3 at some point. It still wasn't a big concern. I wasn't freaked out. I kind of went around a little bit, and the first thing I did was look to see if her car was there, because she could have took off. That would have made sense that she left. But her car was there, so okay, she's doing something. She's just out and about. I texted her again at 3. I'm pretty sure that's the time. You guys can check the.
And in between those 2 times, you texted the gentleman in.
No, I didn't get concerned until the second time I texted her and said, "Hey, I guess we're not going."
Okay. So you texted him
after. That was at 3.
PM.
Could have been 3:40. Could have been 3:50.
Okay.
Then after that text, that's when I got up. I didn't even know her phone was still there because I texted it. So her sister made a group text that I didn't notice, and her sister says it was at 3:45. And she says she responded to it.
At 3:45 p.m. on Monday.
Yes. Let me think. I'm getting screwed up. I'm getting this screwed up. Maybe it was 8:45 in the morning. That's what it was. It was 8, so while I'm sleeping.
So her sister, what's her sister's first name?
Her sister name is Amy.
Okay. She said she sent a group text at 8:45 that
To
morning?
her and I, and from that you can tell whether someone views it. And she said that we both viewed it at some point. I don't know when I did. She said that, I don't know if you can tell when they get viewed, but it was viewed. And I didn't, it wasn't me that viewed it with the phone. So to me, she was there at 8:45 or 8 in the morning. Emily was there. That's my. And the guy across the street, John, said that he saw her at 10 or 10:30, whatever.
No, that's incorrect. John has since backtracked.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what the meeting. And he originally said like 8 to 9, and then he's now saying I can't. He's saying I can't
swear to it. And
maybe 9, could be Sunday.
So that makes it look bad for me.
Well, it just makes it great. I mean, not to just, we're not going to put.
You guys want to look at anything in my body, you want to look at anything at all, I'm here.
Well, let's just talk. And,
I hope you guys know that I love my wife, and I would never hurt her.
Well, that's kind of where I was going to go next. Because we've kind of beat this timeline down pretty good. So, you guys got married 2 years ago?
We got married August 28. August 28, 2018. Easy one to remember, right?
8/28/18. Okay.
And I had a son.
Any tissues or anything? Drink water? Okay. We know about him. We don't need to. We don't want to bring up bad memories, so let's try and focus on. Okay, because
They love each other. It was horrible. Oh, schizophrenia is the worst thing that happened to me. I don't know where to go now. What do you want to know?
So, what years did you live out in Vegas?
I did 25 years out there. 93, 4. And I left to come out here to get my son. He was having trouble in school. And not trouble, he just couldn't learn very well out there. And they didn't have special education out there. And my dad said, come on out here and live with me. And we'll enroll him in Worthington. They have a special course for kids that aren't doing well. And so I moved out here. And that's when I was out here. I don't know what year that was. I'm guessing that was just 2 years ago. He was a freshman in high school, so he would have graduated this year, so it would have been 4 years ago. He was in 9th grade. And Emily and I met via the internet, and we started dating, and it lasted like a year. My son didn't make it in the school he was going to, and I ended up having to move out of the house in my dad's home. I was living with my dad, and place I could afford because I was working at the casino here in town, which is a real crappy casino. I can only afford to.
Big difference from
Yeah, I was making really good money out there, and so I moved to the continent, and I just wasn't making enough money. So and Emily and I weren't like living together type relationship. So I took off. I said I gotta go back to Vegas and try to get my job back. And I went back there, and my son got sick, and I'd still been in contact with Emily, and I'm like, Emily, Joey's sick, like sick. He's got, and I don't have any insurance because I quit my job, and when I moved back to Vegas, they didn't give me insurance. It was a long process because of that Obamacare, so I didn't have any insurance to take care of my kid that had caught schizophrenia. We didn't know what schizophrenia then, but he was sick. And she said, well, come on back here and marry me. Come on back here and marry me. We'll get him in Westville. So I moved back probably in July. We got married in August. We enrolled in school.
Okay.
And that's how things went. And things were really, really super great.
And things were great with you and him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She saved my life.
Now, we all have some issues with our wives. You and I have both been married once before and divorced, okay? We all know how marriages are, so there's ups and downs. What were the downs?
I lost my sex drive after my kid died, sort of, and there was an issue with that.
Okay.
There was never any. She really was really great with the house. She was really meticulous, and I liked it. She reminded me of my mother when it came to taking care of a home, and so she would tell me to wash this and do that, and I really dug it. And it was, we would bicker about.
For the record, I'm sorry to stop that point at 42 minutes, 58 seconds. Yeah, I see it's now noon. This witness is going to continue for many hours. I think probably a good place to break for lunch if that works for everyone.
If that works for you, that's fine. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take our midday break at this point. Let's come back at 1 p.m. Remember the court's admonition? Have a good break. Thank you.
Bliss, everyday honeymoon, like a honeymoon, and one being can't stand each other. I'm just asking, what would you rate?
It would fluctuate like a sine wave, but we were on since 6 months. It was an 8.
Last 6 months?
Absolutely. Did you read our text?
Well, we haven't gone through everything. There's a
There
massive
might be
amount
some old text where we
information.
were like, whatever, but it was after my son died. There was tension, stress. She dealt with it differently than I did, and so there was things that were said back and forth. But this whole Corona thing really, we became really super. She's like, and then we need each other. Let's do this thing, guys. I did not hurt my wife. I did not hurt her. I loved her. I don't know. I would speculate.
Detective. After the defendant was talking about Corona, what did he say about Emily?
He told us that he loved his wife and said it in the past tense.
So not love, but loved.
Loved.
I loved my wife.
To say that she might have hurt herself. But if she did, you would have found her by now. She would have went down somewhere close. Was there times when she would kind of say, I'm not afraid to die, this thing? I mean, don't they all kind of be like that? Sort of nothing that I would ever call anybody go, my wife's going to hurt herself. Nothing.
And why would you think she would hurt herself? I mean, possibility.
Because she was, not that she ever would, I'm just saying she was emotional. She would get emotional. She was a very emotional person. And she would say things like, and then when Joseph died, it was like this thing where she would be like, well, if I would do it if I needed to do it, or shit like that. You'd be like, oh,
So, I mean, like I said, we're not.
Detective, the interview continue after that?
Yes, it does.
And I'm not going to ask to publish what's been marked as State Exhibit 74C to the jury.
Would it surprise you if I said that she didn't seem to be as happy as you were led to believe?
Of course.
It would surprise you?
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise you?
She was sadder than I thought she was.
As far as your relationship?
No, she loved me. I would be very surprised if there was like a not.
Detective, was the defendant just there talking about Emily's feelings towards him?
Yes, he was.
And what did he say?
He said, no, she loved me. Again, past tense.
Loved, not love.
Correct.
No, well, I'm not saying that, but literally 2 weeks ago, there was one person that she kind of confided in through text messages and so forth.
Said something that.
And she said that Matt picked another fight with me last night. This was 2 weeks ago. And then they kind of go on and talk about it a little bit. Early May, so we're talking this month. Matt and I are talking and friendly, but it's not the kind of relationship I want. In April, a month ago, please don't talk about Matt and I in love. She said, same day, he hasn't been the same since Joey, which I understand. That's not a criticism. I completely get that. It certainly changed. And at the same time, she said, I think Matt is mentally ill. And then same day, we aren't talking. Reference your relationship, we're not talking. This was a month ago. She said, we're not talking. And she said, I don't want to talk about him. I'd rather focus on the future. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night. This was February. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night and said some things I don't think he can take back. I'm fine. I'm pretty sure we are not going to stay together. What do you think?
I mean, we would argue about things, but I didn't think that it was that.
What was it that you said? She was mad.
And she focused on one thing, Matt picked a fight. Again, this is April. This is barely a month
She
ago.
would accuse me of picking fights.
Okay, but this was a month ago. Okay, this is heavy. Matt picked a fight with me yesterday and said some awful things. I'm not wearing my wedding ring. And that doesn't sound like somebody who's in a happy relationship. I found my wife texted that to somebody a month ago.
I get it. I'm not going to say that those things. Of course, there was a roller coaster relationship, but it wasn't like anything that was anything you would think that someone would hurt someone. It just would.
I'm just addressing the fact that you just told me that the last 6 months have been bliss and it ain't.
Not yes.
Okay.
There have been levels of that,
okay.
And you can check the other texts, and they are super. I love you. I'm going to say
I saw it.
There are.
It's very much up and down. Bipolar relationship.
That would go away. That would really go away. It would last for a night.
Will you acknowledge that that's some pretty heavy shit when your wife says, I took up my wedding ring, I don't think we're going to stay together.
It's not as heavy as you think it is.
You don't think that?
You might think it is, but it's not. She would be like that at times because of her anger issues. It always swung back. It wasn't.
Well, why would you have said that whenever they asked how your relationship?
I didn't even remember that because it's not in my mindset. The good times have been so good.
Okay, but
you guys are really going to try to.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm reading your wife's words. I understand that. Just let me. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying when you come in and say we had a great relationship, told Officer Hollis, we had a great marriage, no problems whatsoever, and then I read this. It's going back 6 months, and you text her on New Year's Eve and say if you want a divorce and we're going to move out, fine. I mean, these are all things I just printed off, which have they aren't the usual fight, like, I'm pissed at you, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you tonight, just leave me alone. It's go golfing, because I don't want to see you right now, I want to be alone. That's,
Well,
we admit
it's not as heavy as you think it is. From looking at it from the outside, I can see why someone would think that. But it's not. It's just the level of anger from, I'm not going to say it's her fault, I had my issues with my son. I would get angry too. We would fall back in love the next day. It was just the thing that we would do. And it wasn't, and when you say, hey, how was the last 6 months? The last 6 months have been really nice, man. I mean, was there a time that we had a night where I said some bad things and she took her wedding ring off? How long ago was that? I mean,
A month ago.
it happened, but I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't know how to explain to you.
Do you remember that happening though?
I remember her, I think, taking her wedding ring off, but didn't last. But this thing has gone on forever.
When was the last argument you and her got into, screaming match?
There was never really a screaming match. It was more of just.
When was the last argument / loud
I
conversation?
couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you. I was guessing.
Because your neighbors are out there saying it was in the last 2 weeks. Would that be correct?
I don't know. And there's the screaming. We were screaming at each other. They were saying that we were screaming at each other.
Yes.
That they could hear. I don't know. We weren't. There might have been a loud, whatever.
Loud disagreement?
We weren't violent. We weren't screaming like at each other, like throwing things around. It just wasn't happening. It's not the type of relationship we had. We would get mad at each other because we had issues, but they weren't even close to being like. She was saying that to her friend. I mean, that's surprising to me because I wasn't like, I mean, at times you'd say, I don't want to be married to you anymore. But it doesn't go down the lines that I'm sitting in a police station right now, being like you're going after me.
We just have to make sure we know that you
And trust me, as a man to man, that what was going on there was nothing there was nothing to be worried about. There wasn't anything.
So, can I change course now? So, it was Officer Hollis. I keep wanting to think it's Sereno, but it was Officer Hollis came out on Monday to take the report, correct? Okay. Now, and her phone wasn't seized or anything else like that. Were you posting stuff on Facebook from her account using her phone?
I don't know, maybe. I knew her passcode. It was my son's old phone. I could have went on there and posted something. I think I didn't have any of her friends' phone numbers, I think, so I think I was maybe making contact. I'm guessing that I was making some sort of contacts with friends of hers. You're saying when I was looking for her?
Like after she was reported missing? And
I'm sure I did use her phone to contact friends of hers.
Did you post something to her Facebook account, to her friend on Facebook, like, hey, she's missing?
I didn't until later on when it was told to me that it was as serious as it was. It wasn't like, it was after the media showed up.
I just need to know if you did. And there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know.
Matt, this was 2 days ago.
I know.
You can't remember if you
Which
were
phone I used
on her
to-
phone. Did you get on her? Did you think to yourself, and this would make perfect sense, to say, look, I don't know her friends, which we know. So I'm going to get on it. And you made the comment, I would like to post things to her account. That's why you wanted her phone back. So it's been through your mind. It would make perfect sense. I'm going to go on her Facebook account and post, hey, has anyone seen Emily? This is her husband. I can't find her. She's
I
been
must have. I can't recall, but I must have.
You don't remember that? It was 2 days ago.
I don't know if it was me that put that on. I must have.
Was someone else using her phone?
No.
So the phone stayed at the house the whole time? You didn't hand it out to a cousin or walking down the street, some Joe stranger or anything else like that? Okay. So if anything was posted on her account, have you ever accessed her Facebook from your phone?
I can't. So I've never done it. I can't access. I've tried to post stuff onto her page from my phone, but it doesn't
But you can't get in as her on her Facebook.
I can do it from her phone. I can do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Just get on her phone, go to Facebook, and
Okay.
I'm sure I did. I can't say I definitively did, but I'm sure I got on Facebook. Hey, I did, didn't I? I did. You guys know. I went on and say, hey, this is Matt. I'm Emily's husband. She's missing. I must have. I had to. I just don't recall right now if I did. But I'm that would be the move to make her. And I mean,
Just because we ask you the question, it doesn't mean that we're going at it.
It's not a fair question.
I know, you're right. And I'm just trying to tell you that if I don't, in my head, picture it, I don't want to say I did, but I mean, it would be the move to make. I mean, yeah, I must have.
Okay.
I've been using my phone, her phone, my phone, her phone for the last, this is Wednesday now? I don't even know what day it is anymore. I've been using 2 phones, so it's looking at her friends.
But you know you can't post from yours, so if you post into her Facebook account, it has to be through her phone.
It has to be through her phone, there's no doubt about it.
Did you use her phone for any other purpose?
Like what?
You text a few friends, you text some friends of hers, or any contacts?
I'm sure I did. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had to because I don't have a lot of her friends' phone numbers and stuff. So yeah, that's why when I gave the phone to you guys, I was like, I need that phone back to contact people.
Do you think, did you make, I know you say you don't remember, but did you make a couple posts on her Facebook account? Did you make 1, did you make 5?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you remember what you wrote?
At some point I started, that's right, when you guys took the phone, that's when I started posting from my phone. I'm going to say everything prior to that was probably from her phone. I don't know why I would post. I can't.
Was anything deleted in it?
Detective, one more portion of the interview to play here. It's been marked as State Exhibit 74D. I asked to publish that to the jury this time.
I'll be guessing, but I think she hurt herself.
How do you think she hurt herself?
She would say that if she was going to do it, she would hang herself.
So, and of course, no one knows anything at this point. I'm just asking for your opinion. So, do you think that she hung herself?
I don't know.
Just what does your gut say?
That she hurt herself.
That's your gut belief right now. Has she ever
And
said,
I'm going to say to you now, anything on the line.
we were just talking.
She has talked about killing herself before, but not anything where I would call the authorities and say, you need to save her.
If she were to hang herself, where would she do it?
She would do it where she would be easily found. She wouldn't want to cause any contact.
So since she hasn't been easily found, is it plausible that she didn't kill herself?
You tell me. You're the police. I'm not.
I just want you to just look at the entire thing. Just pull yourself out of it.
Is there a chance that she went out at some point and someone abducted her from Westerville, Ohio, or put her in the car and drove off with her? What are the odds of that happening?
In Westerville, Ohio, almost 0%.
Zero.
Especially on Memorial Day when everyone's at home. You know, it's a perfect day out.
So I'm going to say, was she abducted? Probably no. I know I did not hurt her. I didn't do it. So the other thing that I think of is that she did something.